for any gossip now.
Welcome back to my channel, good people. The long-awaited, it is happening. 1 p.m. happened, okay? Big guy, it's been the talk of the town. I think at this point everybody knows and everyone has been waiting for almost 3 years. Utsi side of the story got big guy child. And today we finally got the sit down, okay? But before you get into that, if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe, thumbs up, like it. Let's engage in the comment sections down below. I also have a personal channel. The link will be in the description box down below. You can also follow me on all my social media accounts. I am a patient Virgo everywhere. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Thank you, Lynn. Once again, thank you, the promise, okay? Now, we saw them sit down, Owamie. I just want us to do a quick review, summarize it, because it was too long. When I say long, it was close to 2 hours. And remember, some people literally got one when it was premiering, but come 17, so they can't finish it. Ka one, ke lunch break by 2 ifedile and still ongoing. But it was super long, okay? But I must say, I honestly enjoyed it. I saw a side of a big guy that was different from what we were initially, was different from the picture that was painted to us, which is always the case when you only hear one side of the story from someone, okay? So without rushing and taking it too far, let us summarize. Firstly, big ups to Promise. I think she held it down. She tried not to make the interview about herself. There and there, yeah, it wasn't 100% perfect because of there and there, but still, big guy ubile. I didn't pick up slow. I didn't pick up a slow talker. But then again, when you break up with someone, everything about them and now annoys you. How they talk, how they chew, how they... We can say chepisi, guys. Before they na lere chepisi chew. Yeah, so firstly, I'm just gonna try to summarize it, okay, and then we will talk in detail. Firstly, the first point that was definitely raised by Upikai when he basically started the whole thing as to how they met, wawona. He said that Owamie is the one who broke my virginity. I was 21. Basically, she was my first love, my first wife, my first everything. They were still in varsity. He was 21. He even said he prayed about it. Go for God, because of 2012. Is it 2012? He wasn't dating. And then by the time he was ready to date, he prayed about it. For God, I need to meet my person. But when the time is right, and how much is it is that person from you that I've been praying for. She must be wearing white. I will take that as a sign. Kanti zazang. Next day, the Owamie, or the steps, she was wearing the white, and then he mized it, and then fast forward to wara after he was playing mizing, ignoring the babes, acting like eventually it led to them having a thingy, and then they moved in together, a racy, happily sweet, foundation beginning, they moved in together. He was a virgin, although they said he was 21. Okay, when he met Owamie, he was still a virgin. And then Promise touched on it. It's okay, you're a late bloomer. I don't think 21 is late blooming. But I get when you're a guy, there's a certain standard in your society for 21. Sharp. I almost said yo, Lodale sensitive. For this. I almost said, well, that is my thought. Let me share my thought. I almost said maybe that's why Barry big guy so in the beds. It's close for Nana experience I'm 21. Why? And they clearly Owamie already had an experience prior to big guy, because I think she did say she had a boyfriend before big guy. I don't know if she was actively, but once they moved in together. And then when he explained the moving in together, already from the get-go, 3 days later within, Owamie, he could pick up with Owamie is untidy. He can't handle this because of the 80. Owamie left the breadcrumbs on the floor and he had to break it off. Which goes back to that thing, LA, when the Volts and Owamie situationship and big guy started trending with Owamie nasatlatsu di kotlolo and nali fail war. Clearly, big guy always had an issue with it from the beginning, but he did explain Wutsine. It was red flag number one. He broke things off, no girl, but due because of Uyamtanda, he is in Louvre. They fix things, but continue, but clearly, long story short, big guy always had an issue with Owamie's untidiness. We don't know if she was extremely untidy or that was untidy for him, because of when you're someone who's extremely tidy, wabo, untidy irritator. So we don't know if Owamie very very untidy or what exaggerated, but clearly big guy always had an issue, which explains why eventually Owamie was like, we're getting the maids and the tontoni helper, sorry wabo, but I think Owamie once mentioned even before big guy valley is a neat freak, whatever wabo. That was twin. And then he also touched on the fact that sister I mixed the sisters' names, Baba Owam, but it's fine. The mother of Uray, their son, how it came about them being like, official parents, him and Owam as Aga Ray, is because of the sister was pregnant at an early age and still had to finish school, and how Owam was when they moved in, and then when the sister got pregnant, the father ka Owami, maybe like Umzalo Kwatilo was like, she must go live with the boyfriend that got her pregnant, and then obviously girl decided to move to run to her sister Owamie, and then a week later, because of Owamie wahlala no big guy, she felt like she's still young. There could be many reasons behind why Owamie felt umntana was still young to be pregnant, and so she wanted but she just suggested well, big guy said it wasn't a suggestion. Owamie was just adamant she must get a divorce, an abortion, but then big guy was against it, and then he was like, you know what, we'll raise the child as our own. So that's how they came about raising the child, which is wow, not so many men would do that, okay? It takes a certain kind of man. So basically, when it comes to my siblings, Owamie, and how the interview went, when Big Guy was explaining everything, he literally took Owamie in nabantwana bakubo. You know, one of those which is how it should be, I guess, masithandana. Mara, here we are now. Love and war, but shem big guy for someone obaring kidom kopo and uwa slow and there's zero intelligence. Shem, he conducted himself in a proper way. Okay, there was no way he was bashing Owamie, like, the way we've been seeing the bashing from Bobo. He wasn't. He tried his best to be level-headed, to take it, blame me. And the one thing I also loved about him is the fact that on most situations, except the cheating, he wasn't blaming. He was simply saying, so it who they basically moved in together at a young age. Fast forward, they are up and down, getting married. Oh, also the Lobola part. Remember when Miti put out a video saying that big guy had she paid her own Lobola. So according to big guy, how that came about, she didn't actually pay her own Lobola the way she's putting it. But I guess that is according to her own explanation. According to big guy's explanation, big guy at some point when he had a job we teaching, I don't know, that he got his salary 3 months later, something like that. 3 months later when he got his salary, or something like when he was still starting umsebenzi, I don't know, we're teaching or one, for the first 3 months they don't get imali or whatever. 3 months later when they got the money, it was around 30 something thousand, which was the money that you wanted to go and pay. But I guess Owamie suggested, you know what, let us use that money to buy furniture la endlini instead of you going and paying Lobola for me. Okay, let's use this money. So basically, imali Lobola, big guy basically hlanganisile. But then Owamie was like, no, let's finish at the house, buy the fridge, okay? Uguthi already vele them as a couple, they already had a joint account whereby Owamie is earning 50 rand, big guy is earning 30 rand type of thing. They mix the money together, wabo, hama savings wabo. But then big guy got this money at your Lobola ngayo, and then eventually Owamie was like, no, as long as say, you know, indawo yokuhlala, and then Lobola sizoyisave. So because of they were saving in one account, when sekufika isikhathi sokuthi ayolobola, he had to take out money from ama savings wabo boy-2. That is according to him. But according to Owamie, she loboled herself. Wabo, but she didn't say what initially the lobola money from the get-go bigger now, but I suggested. But I get two sides of the story, guys. We don't know. This is just a summary of me trying to compare the two stories, child. Okay, that was the lobola part. Okay, so hey, big guy, Owamie the paint. We'll get into that. Sharp. Go pale. So another thing when big guy Utiene, he also explained the car situation because of he said when it came to Imoto, apparently at some point Owamie wasn't a satisfied wife. She always wanted the soft life, them to go out every time, and at that point big guy was a breadwinner of Owamie, the kids, yabantwana bakubo wantola kamo at the place that they were living at. They were paying rent 8,000 rand. That time uthi bekahola is salary 9,000, and then the rent is 8,000 rands. But then they also gave him a traveling allowance, which made within atolebo my 18-20k every month there and there. But Owamie bekafunds every week bahambe bayodla espezi soft life wabona. So she wasn't satisfied, and him as a man, he was trying to, ayenza imali yokuthi achaze the girl wakhe. So eventually, fast forward, at some point the opportunity came yokuthi imoto that system yokuthi according to him, please go watch, but he admits he gambled the car. Yes, he was wrong for it, but he says Owamie also understood, but he also touched on the way he went on about it because he was trying to impress, because of the wife was never satisfied. One ton Aritz. That video was 2 hours long, guys. Okay, so I never again. I'm trying to summarize for myself how I understood it, and for someone else who doesn't have 2 hours to watch. Okay, so basically Utinje, he gambled the car trying to please her wife's soft life. Okay, so I did touch on the joint account. There's this part when big guy was asked about his in-laws. Okay, I can remember we are always hearing Owamie talking about her in-laws, which is big guy's family, right? But then big guy was asked to we never hear where were your own in-laws, meaning that abazali baka family ga Owamie, the relatives, the uncles, the people where were they when all of this was happening? Because we are always hearing Owamie talking about her in-laws. But the way big guy explained it is that Owamie, very from the get-go, didn't have a good relationship with her family. Okay, that's why most of the time it was always big guy and the side guy big guy of the family. Owamie from the get-go never had a close relationship the side of her family, and in his take he said that it's one of those situations whereby Owamie never wanted to be umuntu like oboniswayo or advisewayo or reprimandiwayo, even if they had situations like the uncle would be like, hey, there's a family gathering here, why did you not teach up for your husband? You should be like looking out for your husband. You know how it is, like moindo to shatile, and then oyalima kodwa how ratseba ke nne re detse le rona tsamanyelo wabo gona msebetsi da monna wa hao o teng. Obvious nabasekhaya nabasemzini, even if it's not emzini lekolona, you have that thing you see indoda yami qalemele ngimpakela amakhekhe and in wabo. So she wasn't about that. So the uncles would reprimand her, would say, "Hey, why ungabheki indoda yakho wekumele uyithuthumele," and then Owamie would take that as an offense and straight up tell people where to get off wabo asoko one shows all and then cut them off. She's always been that person who's in mombonisa something. And in the way he put it was like, I kind of like understand it because of we also the people who've always been ninjas from the get-go. I can count about Gossip Cafe, myself. We've been lovers of a ninja nation, okay? But it got to a point whereby nathi masizama correct Owami, suddenly we are her enemies, suddenly we are up against her, suddenly weak. So when big guy explained that, it gave me the I understand it, because hey, nathi siphuma lapho ukuthi 1 minute she knew for a fact ukuthi the Pesh loves me, she's been my day one on my channel on Tonton, suddenly put out a video ngami which is not even bashing but me reporting, and then Chigi. I even saw it now on Gossip Cafe ukuthi Chigi Gossip Cafe was always singing praises ka Owami. He puts out the content and Chigi naye sekafana nami, he's now on some yo banlahle to connect. So I kind of understood when he said that ukuthi I sometimes so Owami, like he cuts you off more khuluma ngaye akafuna ukuboniswa. It gave that vibe, so it's we can relate nathi lawabo. That is what he touched on. So clearly that's why he does not have a lot to say about the family, but Owami has a lot to say because of bebangapha kakhulu. That was the the situation, okay? And then another thing, Shem, he did touch. Remember that video that he put out talking about, no, that audio, is it that audio? Yes, that he had sent to Ulin. Lin did post it nin uti big guy saying ukuthi Owami how she was basically conceived in Nanani. Basically, long story short, Owami's mother ne was basically a second wife / girlfriend. I don't know. Ga baba ko Owami. Initially, baba ko Owami had a wife, which is the sister ga mama ga Owami, and then at some point they needed the help in the house. Wabo Owami's father and the first wife, they needed some help in Lini and whatever. So the sister decided, you know what, I will take in usiswam omncane to come azo nana, which is Owami's mother. That's how Owami get. I don't know what happened, if it's a matter of whoever kapat, whoever ngestina, whatever, I don't know. And then Owami was launched. So big guy out of his own mouth, he's still repeating the same thing he said Gulin and the order Ugutsini Velenje umamaga Owami. So of which Owami had, and that's when she got pissed, child. While Jela big guy, the way it is ngane, the way it is not performing, the way it is the dumb cop and the slow, the way amenzele ifave, hey urukhakile ngwana batho shem, because of pikawile acho gore mama how basically uthubile lelapa, yeah, in short terms baba ukeni vibes sabo kare ke homewrecker that, yeah baba. So he still said it the way we had it, he didn't change, he touched on that, okay? So the very important part of the situationship, okay, when he was asked about the cheating, on that Shem, he tried to explain it to Childy on somehow he was being belittled as the man. Of which he gave some points, Shem, oh, I get, but still, Mugai, ain't no reason for cheating at all. Cheating ain't a justification, guys. I guess maybe go back to Leon. I don't know. Mara. Utu big guy where it all went south in the relationship. In the belinging, him and Owami, they met early bets, whatever. Owami was earning 5,000 from her student because she was still in school. I inside the BK thing in nursing. She was earning 5 point something. BK was earning 2 point something. They lived together. Fast forward to Owami got expelled from school because of Begana 2 years a fail. So she got expelled. So after that, I circle a 5.1K. Eventually, Bika is the only one in a breadwinner. Fast forward to him now having those contract jobs whereby he was now earning like 18,000 per month, and then he has to take care of Owami. So for the longest time, he was the breadwinner. Relationship layer. That is a given. Apart from everything else that happened, okay, things basically started going south. Good relationship yakhe. That is him. Besides inkinga eziningi bebanazo, the biggest thing for him that led to their marriage ending is the fact that it got to a point whereby when Owami now started earning more money than Ubikai, suddenly Bikai wasn't worthy of her. Suddenly Bikai was there. You're the takatsa how the busy, the owner the business in when now you're just focused on being the teacher. Wabona type of thing. and nini COVID hit. They were both at home. He wasn't working at all, but he was still getting his monthly, remember the COVID salary and stuff. So at that point he was full-time in the house, no longer going in and out of work, but his salary sangena the way. And then Owamie is at the point whereby the YouTube channel is now flourishing. Okay, she's now earning. So Owamie is always working. He's not working because of the COVID, but he's always in the house. So now say figure like there are now talks like uhleli phela the whole day, awenzi nixi, why ungaklini, do something. So it got to a point whereby now he has to be cooking, cleaning, washing, uthi beka washa nama paint, no mama gaceda ukupheka, he must still dish up for her, put the dishes ezinkini. And then one might ask uthina how I can we are helping each other because of ukhona endlini Owamie is working, okay, but he is saying that yeah, she's working like 2 hours. It doesn't take the whole day, unlike someone who's working in 9 to 5, you know, to film mama YouTube videos wabo. So even if it says it takes 3 hours between recording and editing and uploading, whatever, you still have so many hours so that they forgot I have to do everything. But suddenly she was now earning a lot. Suddenly my income was no longer a lot. Suddenly I was always being compared to other men who are earning more, and he feels like that's when it got to a point he didn't basically remember. There's a time when Owamie was saying that big guy wanted her to resign go YouTube. He is saying that he didn't actually like quit YouTube because of he's insecure or but he saw ukuthi suddenly because of my wife earns more than me, suddenly according to her angisase yindoda, she forgets ukuthi before she earned a lot more than me, I was, you know, indoda kuye. Now as now being compared to other men, other men who are working, who are owning businesses every day. And it's not a matter of she was motivating me, it's in the way she used to say it. You know, a manner of approach, guys, it's everything. Even if you are trying to build with someone, approach, the way you talk, you build or you break. One. So uthi nje shem the YouTube and a lot of things in Mosho umshado wakhe, but above all the fact that Owamie was now earning more than him. Owamie, he was no longer like the man. Owamie just basically forgot routine in the beginning before she made it go YouTube, the same YouTube that big guy was supportive of at the beginning, because Owamie also said it. YouTube, big guy was the one who used to hustle the data and for her the same YouTube big guy. Suddenly big guy was no longer with, which we know it sometimes happens in most situations. And then it takes you to, because one of the ghost men, the one behind the scene, he also did touch on that routine. This is why sometimes most men are not against a woman who is working, but are against umfazi also earn more than you, because of it gets to a point where suddenly umfazi will always delela you or feel like in. So it's not routine sometimes as full nabafazi basebenze, but sometimes because of maseka earn, sometimes not as full umfazi earn more than us, but it's because of maseka earn more than you. Hey, akasakuboni phela wena one of those umfazi melahlale maka ena 50,000 umfazi will always be uzohlala funa indoda ena 100 wabo, and then maka ena 100 zofuna indoda ena 1 ton. So basically above all that was that. And then he also touched on the cheating part ukuthi how was he cheating. According to him, big guy uthi he was never caught physically cheating. He never slept with anybody that Owamie is saying that he cheated with. He never. What had happened was that since now Vele in the house, according to him, Owamie had long checked out of the marriage, long before the cheating. So when the cheating came about, that was like an excuse to say, you know what, I'm calling it quits, because of Utiana or Bika. He understand, because of Promise even explained it to him. Yes, he understands now. Cheating does not need to be physical, because Utiana, he only cheated flirting on Facebook with whoever. Yes, they were talking about in Dabazama, having unprotected sex, But he did that deliberately because of at that point he had already seen naye ukuthi before he even cheated. Owami had already checked out of the marriage long time ago. So when he eventually decided to start cheating, flirting, which is very, for most people, flirting is also part of cheating. By the time he decided to start flirting and chatting to other people, women on social media and flirting, he did that deliberate. Bese guys vele ukuthi umuntu wakhe checked out of the marriage. But then Owami, when she saw that, she decided to call it quits. So he is saying, I get ukuthi flirting is cheating, but if you're building with someone, you're highly invested nomuntu, uthanda umuntu, umshado wakho ufuna usebenze, uyamthanda lo muntu lo, it would never take a flirt for you to go straight to filing for a divorce, unless well you've been checked out a long time ago. You understand? That cannot be the only reason of filing for divorce. At the same time, the fact that I was flirting with someone, cheating and flirting ever. Owami had long, when he is looking at the treatment he was used to get from Owami, especially gakulu, he complained like was that he was no longer the man of the house. Besega umfazi, ivelu being accept because he was no longer earning a lot. He, according to him, the biggest thing that led to their breakup or their failed marriage was the fact that Owami was now earning more than him, and she felt that she deserved more, she needed more. He was no longer enough. She had forgotten ukuthi before she earned more, he was doing everything, he was enough. So this goes back to the whole point. At some point he wanted me to quit my YouTube. Lanson. So guning guys, guning. What else? What was the other thing? I don't want the video to be long, child. Okay, we are just summarizing what he said. Okay. Okay. Oh, he also said Gutini, at some point he even decided to go against his own family for the sake of Owami, because he was in love. Uti, his mother had always said to him, Owami is not the one for you. Owami nje angokuthandela, she's not for you, because of the mother could see the kind of pressure the kind of lifestyle Owami wanted, and Owami has always said that because she has always been ambitious, and the mother always saw Utin. Lom Danam for when is not, and because of he was in love, he thought my mother is trying to kabanisa me with my person. It even got to a point whereby at some point he even told his own mother, when you are a witch, imagine. He told the mother for the sake of he was in love, no muntu wakho, understand? He even cut ties. Another sad thing that he said, Shembatung, to think that throughout his own marriage and him working, he had never given his family a single cent. A cent. Uti. Even 1 rand. He didn't even say, I gave him I had never even given my mother nothing, my parents nothing since I started working. Not even 1 rand. All my money, basically, to Owami, his siblings, I didn't mind because of umuntu wambe my parents only started tasting my money manje after the divorce. Yeah, guning guys, let me tell you. Okay, guning. But guning. The one thing though I feel they didn't touch on. Or they didn't touch on, remember what Owami once touched on a story time of Big Guy and Big Guy's cousin, something that almost infected her HIV because of Yana. She is HIV, wara. They did not touch on that. They didn't, okay? They didn't do. They also didn't touch on that story time Owami said about something like that. They didn't touch on that. There are certain things they didn't touch on, okay? But the Lobola, he did explain me how they came about he did explain me on how they met but above all, it's safe to say utini relationship it was toxic, but it isn't no toxic lawyer. Hey man, is toxic the right word? basically, when you look at the whole situationship and how Upika was explaining it and how we saw their relationship when they were together, vlogging and in it's safe to say these people were madly in love with each other. Kakhulu, good. From a very, very young age, they both meant well. I'm not gonna take sides and say who's wrong or who's not wrong, but I kind of understood where the shift he explained on him no longer being enough when Owamie started earning more. I kind of understood it a bit, not 100, so I got the routine. Sometimes even wabo Masesi elevator, we are no longer the same people we were when we met. We are now different people. You're used to your wife or routine. You take care of them, you nurture them, they need you, nani and wabona, and then suddenly seba wabo, they no longer need you. Things shift, kill life, it happens. We outgrow each other, The one thing I also loved from the whole lawn is that Upi guy is saying that he just wants to get this situation over and done with. He does not hate Owamie. Well, he didn't say I don't hate her, but I don't think he does. But he did say Nyana since the breakup, Nanan, he was never talking about Owamie. He does not understand the fact that if Owamie is saying that she has moved on, why is she always having his name in her mouth always, every week, every 2 weeks, big guy. But she claims to have moved on. She claims that she's happy, Nana, but she's always talking about me. So now I go ninja hore. Please, no kombela we, no kombelo, barenya, no kombelo. Keep my name out of your effing mouth. Wabo? Yeah, like, and my family's name, like I Robalo. Uti, he's in a happy, healthy relationship. He has met somebody, alrighty, and he's not against someone no 7 because even the new lady is working a 9 to 5. He is happy. He's going to be sending the moo very soon. Gabo girl wabo, and then the 4 kids. Even the mother approves. Wabo, he is happy. So he wanted to close this chapter for goodie, and this is the first and last time he's talking about this. We are shooting even umuntu wakhe did say I'm hoping this is the end of it. That's why he's here. So meaning that he's not going to give us part 50 and part 500. Now we are shooting. He's so done with this. He's been done with this. He does not understand why Owamie kunmangai the family I could understand. He wasn't bashing. There was no way where he was bashing or being disrespectful. That is what I saw. I don't know what you guys saw, okay? But utu happy, utinje. If Owamie utu move on, why is she still, But the shame, it's sad. It's sad when you see marriages like this. They had a good chance, man. If only they could have worked their things out. But yeah, we are sure Owamie had long checked out. They also didn't touch on the Owamie now suddenly saying Nayobe wachita back wara because it was a lot. It took a whole 2 hours, but we got to hear inside of his story big guy, and in a way it didn't give us the toxic evil wara that we have been getting all along, wabo. It didn't. It gave nje lezinto zayenzakala siyathandana, and then shit happens, life happens, we break up. You have your own story to say. He did this. I have my own story to say. She did this, he did it. But the only difference between you and I is that I moved on. I don't say anything about you. When I mara I'm still in your mouth 3 years later. That's the only difference. That's what happened. So nje, at the end, guys, the one thing that I'm sorry if I did not touch on anything, but it's not my job to touch on every single thing. That would be me repeating the interview. So you guys definitely need to check it out. It's about 2 hours long. In closing, Shem. Shem, I felt for big guy who promised decided they need to play that audio. That audio of Owamie, or the audio that Owamie had sent, the voice note that Owamie has sent to big guy. I'm jealous the way it is not tickling, the way I slimmer, the way the mother is the fair hair. That audio, and when they played it, child, you could see through his face, his eyes would baba man. Man, I get right, man. Like it was I felt like they shouldn't have done that, and since they've already done that, they should have cut it out. It wasn't nice to see, okay? Yeah, but there was no way where they were touching on Ulin. Ulin. They touch on Ulin. She's the one who organized, who promised having a contact with Ulini, and then big guy, we are shooting Naibegabonama. Lona his VNs and posts on Ulin's channel wara, but there was no way, which still goes to say Lini Vele and Hashem Azan Aba Pro Wabahore Abe like big guy platform. Just brat. Now I will send it there. She was on some Vele how copy big guy how copy Vele how copy. So I think that's where she lost it. As told in the middle, she wasn't reporting, child. She was confirmed. But outcap is the fact, as if she was there. So as told Aligo, Ayashisa Amateke, which is now Wasuyu or whatever. But everything else, Nancy in Tiwaki, big guy, Gilin, it's about big guy, we really the bathing party. They also did not touch on the. Remember, there was a point whereby it was settled to Owamie couldn't have children because of she aborted at some point. So the doctor did say told big guy the reason why they can't conceive is because Owamie the abortion what. They did not touch on that. I think that's another part we needed to hear, but unfortunately it seems like we will never hear it because of by the look of things, big guy so done with this. He wanted to say his piece. It is done, and Shem, according to him, he is doing so well. He is in business. He has learned his lessons in terms of their marriage and how they went about doing things. So this time he's doing things the right way. He is in business, transporting school kids, abantu abasebenzayo, namatex or something like that, because he spoke about. He's also into farming of cattle. He has cows and pigs. So wabo, it isn't so bad, wabo, and he's happy. We are shooting no girl why kilo he has level like. So basically, even if we're in that level, wabo, and then motwa on level motwa habanata luena ko level A, okay? Ha alimo o tlobatla motwa o mo level A liena. So he is saying what's in level. So it don't matter when you feel you are on that level. Wow. So you're looking down on the right levels. So let them be. Let's hope this is the end of it. We are hearing it for the last time. So resta. But I know our Queen Ninja will not let this go. She's going to clap back. She's going to come on some because she's easily so we shall wait. She hasn't said anything, but in the meantime she's posting there with the Instagram Jesus song, the one she had said they broke up. She's posting there, so I don't know what's in. Is it all pictures or it's the current? I don't know. Is it just to say I could move it on key? I don't know. I was just reporting, child. If I missed anything, please go check it out. Go podcast it. It was a good interview, although everything wasn't addressed, but we got clarity nyana man. Not 100, but pass mark clarity. We got it. We've been longing for each side of the story, guys. So I'm happy. I don't know about you guys. And this was basically a summary. I don't have anything to say. I'm not choosing sides. Well, I do have there and there. La one song because of Lina, I'm a neutral person, guys. So some things you can definitely understand or relate to, okay? But apart from that, guys, please do drop your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on all my social media accounts. I am at Patience Virgo. I also have a personal channel. The link will be in the description box down below. Until next time, bye.